everyone. How are you all doing? I'm doing pretty good. Just excited to get this game on the road. Play this game, I should say. And I kind of had an interesting night last night. I had dinner with my dad, which I don't have too often. Because we normally have lunch together, and we went to BJ's restaurant or brew house, however you want to say that, and I got my usual there, which is just a pizza. But when I asked for a box, they normally give you those boxes that you'd get for delivering pizzas. And I hate those boxes, but they're nice and big. But this time, BJ's just gave me like a normal container. And so it's kind of hard to get everything in there. But managed it. It's still kind of funny though. And of course I do have my leftovers of that I plan to be having later. And then the other thing that was kind of funny recently was, for the longest time I've been just like browsing Best Buy from time to time. I don't get anything a lot from them. But for the longest time, they've been selling their physical games with just like a piece of paper. And it makes me like kind of go and wonder about what their thing is. Like, I'm already at that point where I'm like, what's the point of getting games physically? Do you need to install them on a hard drive like you did with Steam of old? PC gaming before then? I believe I mentioned that quite a few times already, but just have to install it, and then you have to use the physical medium to play it. And it's just rather annoying. So that's why I go for the digital end a lot. Particularly when it's in the Switch, and how that relates back is well, there at the Best Buy, I saw Monopoly had like a new version of it. I haven't tried Ubisoft's version of Monopoly. I'm more familiar with how it was under EA. It was like you could get it for less than $30 or something like that. Almost was tempted to get it too. Simply because I do kind of like playing Monopoly. Just a nice thing to do, especially if you do it electronically. Physical copies, give me a bit too much trouble with that game, particularly in the setup. Though I guess for getting the amounts that you have to do, it makes it easy to practice your module or division, aka dividing to only find the remainder. Because those are two separate things in programming, the dividing and finding the remainder. Sure, Swift has its own little thing of doing it, but from my experience with other programming languages, I think they do the division twice instead of once, how we would. And I got the link shared out, so let's get this show on the road. Last time we were just messing around, hoping that I could get to the next area, so I'll probably start out that way.
Well then.
Okay. So it's night right now.
What do you want to do?
Okay, I need my imagination up. Okay, so it's the lady up there.
Pardon? Why?
Still don't like how hard it can be to tell this stuff, though.
Oh, I hate the rain.
So let's see what story we get from her. Look at that, it's the Elder and the Fairy. We meet again. We finished the story of the bread last time, but I don't mind telling again if you like. It's the story about the Thief King's exploits, wasn't it? If you care to listen, your imagination will probably improve. Listen to her story. Then let's begin, shall we? Once upon a time, a gift of bread arrived in a faraway village. I listened to the old woman's story from the beginning. I feel like my imagination has increased again. That's good to know that they won't go through that story all the time. Okay. So we do that. It's time I get back to the others. And I need to increase my guy's imagination for a quest.
The new king draws nearer.
Which is why I did that. That road that was blocked by the landslide should be clear by tomorrow, apparently. We set off for Brilhaven as soon as it reopens. We've acquired the head we sought, but if we're to truly get in Lewis's good graces, we should endeavor to stand out further from the other candidates. Yup. Even after all this, we're still just a bunch of nobodies. Maybe we could improve our reputation by helping some of the people around town. A wise suggestion, some upright behavior and altruistic deeds are just what we need to gain more recognition.
Right.
Alright, we depart tomorrow. That's fine with me. Since we really need our imagination, let's go seek out that woman again.
Say there.
Well met, eh?
Oh.
Let's see, look at that. It's the Elder and the Fairy. We meet again. Finished the story of the bread last time, but I don't mind telling it again if you like. It's the story of the Thief King's exploits, wasn't it? If you care to listen, your imagination will probably improve. Yes. Then let's begin, shall we? Once upon a time, a gift of bread arrived in a faraway village. I listened to the old woman's story from the beginning. I feel like my imagination has increased again. Okay. I needed to hit that star there, so... Getting closer to it, but not anywhere near what I needed. It's time I get back to the others. Okay. Back to Matira Tavern. Alright. Save it again. And back out.
It's time.
Well, we're finally leaving this place tomorrow. Thank you, but I want to improve my imagination.
Oh.
And I'm not too sure about you guys, but I don't know how listening to the same story over and over can help improve imagination unless it's done in different ways. Let's see, yes, we'll listen. I listened to the old woman's story from the beginning. I feel like my imagination has increased again. Still not there yet.
Well then.
It's time I get back to the others.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
I've seen the state of the race with my own eyes, ladies, gents, and mad malcontents. If you wanted an update, here's your chance. So far, we've mostly seen gauntlet runner skirmishes and dueling mayhem. Now it's time for the real thing. Sounds like we've lost a few candidates already too. Poor bastards went after something too nasty for their head hunt and got themselves head hunted.
Nice pun there, Batlin.
We've got some candidates who have outright given up. No confidence. Can't blame them against these odds. And some others have bought and sold out of the race.
Come on! That's a bit unfair, isn't it?
I suppose money's power like anything else. Military strength's not meant to decide this race anyhow.
The question is, what's our final head count going to look like? Lots of unknowns left, people, and we'll not know the truth until the exhibition. A little bird told me one of our contenders has made a bold play in Martira. They might not even come out of it with a head.
What are they scheming then? Let's hear some details.
Sorry, chums, I'm just the crier. Can't speak for any one candidate in particular. Luckily, you'll not have long to wait now. With all that said, can't help but wonder how Count Luis is taking this, can we? My sources say he's not bothered with any of this. He's still gallivanting across the land, killing humans. And yet, even without a formal entry, Luis's voter base is still growing. Bound to have his eminence Forden grinding his teeth, that. For now, let's enjoy the show!
Well, he sure does know how to make a show out of everything.
Everyone, farewell said, particulars packed.
All that remains is to ride to Oceania with pride in our hearts.
Watch out, Luis. You won't know what hit you.
Well then, off to the races, what? Old Barden's given me a detailed map of the area.
Sounds like quite a journey. I hope it won't be as bumpy as last time.
Oh no, it'll be a sight smoother. But you've got wings. What are you fussing for?
Oh, there it is. Should have known the fatigue would hit eventually.
No.
By the time I got some sleep.
Neuros had a good point there. About her having wings, that confuses everyone.
Why are you on my bed? You're positively miniature, man. There are plenty of other places fit for you to sleep.
Yes. Splendid. Just magnificent.
What is he dreaming about?
I hope you've no designs on taking my bed. I have cut men down for less.
Things like these.
Now then.
Next is Port Brilhaven, the capital of the Principality of Oceania. If we punch it south out of Martyria, we'll make it in, oh, I'd say 3 nights, 4 days or so.
Whoa!
Wow, so that's Port Brilhaven.
Oh, hey!
Let's see, what sort of place is Port Brilhaven exactly? 'Tis a large city of prosperous commerce, due in no small part to its oceanside proximity. I envision droves of people will pour in for the exhibition. All the people delayed by the landslide might still be showing up. Keep an eye on the road, okay, Norris?
Tally-ho, then.
Why, I never. Who do you think you're talking to? Leave it to me. Next stop, Port Brilhaven, capital of Oceania.
Leaving behind the old castle town stricken by tragedy, the Gauntlet Runner sets off toward the exhibition of the brave. Their destination, Port Brilhaven, capital of the Principality of Oceania. A world unknown to them. What will they accomplish? Acclaim? Or...
What to pick?
3 days until we reach Brilhaven. Okay, let's save here, just to be safe. Okay. Wisdom and courage, huh? I wonder if I have other options. Because I really need the imagination. Oopsie-daisy. Let's see. There's a question mark down there. Huh. Ancient room. Okay, watchtower, no. Okay, we don't get too much, so let's check out what that question mark is. Let's see, so... if I want to see what the question mark is... there are more books now. Perhaps Hayes may added some to the collection. The books I could read are Travel Diary, Pride and Persuasion, Bygone Days. Let's see, what does Bygone Days do? The methodologically precise handwriting leads me to believe this is Hayes Maze. It appears to be a record of his life with his son. I haven't started reading it yet. Hayes May left it here. I think that means it's okay to read. If I read this book, I may gain more tolerance. Shall we spend some time reading the book? Not now. So I don't want tolerance. Maybe not now. With interesting books. Pride and Persuasion. Let's see what this does. This book outlines useful conversational techniques for convincing others. I haven't started it yet. Merce probably left this here, huh? Let's take it over to the window if you want to read it together. Eloquence, huh? No. I don't want those. I want imagination. New world travel. Let's see what this does. This appears to be a fictional chronicle of a boy's journey in a fanciful place called the New World. I haven't started reading it yet. Seems like a book that'll really expand the mind. Want to read it together over by the window? Yes, I finally found it. If I read this book, I may gain more imagination. Shall we spend some time reading this book? Yes.
Actually?
To be honest with you, I've realized something. There's so many things in this world which very simply I don't understand. There's so many things I've learned since we started traveling together. Let's see. You've matured. Same here. The world is vast. Let's see. These two seem to be the most appropriate, so I'm going to say same here. It's the same for me. You relate, huh? There's so much one needs to see firsthand to comprehend. Hey, Tomaso. I know this time we're traveling for a mission, but if all goes well, I want to go on another journey where I'm free to do what I want. Let's see, I hear you. Sounds like fun. Maybe I'll write a book about it. Let's say that.
So then...
Should I write a book about our travels? Good idea, just make sure to include me as a co-author, alright? Of course, if I want to contribute further to whatever you do in the future, I'll have to keep working hard. Well, can you think of anything I can do to help you out? Teach me more. Always encourage me. You're already helping me plenty. I think they should add something here for those of us that hate her. I don't hate her too much, but they should just put in time to put you in a pot. But let's say you're already helping me plenty. You already do plenty for me. Really, hearing that makes me happy. Especially since I don't have to do anything more to keep you satisfied. This conversation kind of went off in a unique direction, huh? Let's keep reading the book for a bit. It describes a new world. If a place other than this really exists, I'd like to visit someday. I feel like my imagination has expanded after conjuring up various ideas together with Gallica. Okay. So this is gonna really help. There's still more left to read in this book. I'll pick up from here next time.
The party sets off for Martira. As they watch the setting sun sink under the horizon, their gauntlet runner arrives in a land grown thick with trees. The wildlife retreats to safety before the sunlight fades, leaving only deafening silence. The anticipation that follows a journey's beginning swells in their hearts.
But I guess the question mark there will cover a multitude of skills, which is nice.
Oi!
Hey, have you heard there's a bath cask on the back deck now? I've heard enough whining about not being able to bathe, so I whipped something up. It's not elegant, but it'll do the job. No doubt it would shake too much to use while traveling, but it should be lovely to enjoy a soak when we're stopped.
Speaking of...
I've heard that in certain regions, fruits and grasses are added into bath water to relieve exhaustion and strengthen the body. Should you encounter such items, perhaps you ought to consider a purchase. Thanks to Nurus, you can now use bath cask on the back deck. Not only can you acquire mag by using it, but you can also add various bath salts to water to improve your abilities.
The breeze feels nice.
Okay. We've got 3 more days on the road. I can tell you're feeling stronger these days, but it's still too dangerous to go outside at night. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. Save here. Let's see. Ah, so both of them increase imagination, huh? Nice. Let's do Strohl then. Hey, are you looking for something to do? My weapons are as sharp as they're going to get, and I'm not up to much. Care to keep me company for a while? By recalling the past and planning for the future with Strohl, maybe I can hone my imagination. Should I spend some time talking with Strohl? Yes.
That reminds me.
First Hulkenberg, now Hazemay. Having more reliable comrades at your side never hurts, but it's too early to celebrate considering it's Lewis that we're up against. As much as I hate to say it, there's no denying he's still the strongest mage out there. He has powerful allies too. His curse was unstoppable. We can beat him. Let's see. I'm gonna say he has powerful allies too. He's surrounded himself with powerful allies too. Right. Beyond Zorba, he has no shortage of servants, all too happy to forge his path, but none of them hold a candle to Lewis himself. Why are they mentioning Zorba right now? Like, I know it's common in anime and a lot of fiction for people to not be dead if you don't have a body. So it's not hard to imagine that scenario. But it's like even the characters aren't acknowledging that he's dead. And that's kind of weird here. Because a lot of the times the characters themselves also think that the guy is dead until it's revealed otherwise. Remember that human corpse at the cathedral? They say he defeated it all by himself. Not to mention we have the royal magic to contend with. To put it bluntly, we don't stand a chance in a frontal assault. Oh, but don't misunderstand, I'm only pointing out how difficult it would be for us as we are now. If we pooled our powers, we may be able to surpass him. Nothing is impossible, that's what I've come to believe since I met you, since you awakened your first power. Strohl and I talked about things to come. I feel like my imagination has increased.
Now then.
Nice! I can finally complete that quest.
Imagination.
Imagination, 'tis one of the virtues a ruler must possess. If true sovereignty is thy aspiration, furnish thyself with the creativity to bring the ideal world of thy thoughts to fruition.
Why, that's...
A conqueror needs that precious kindling with which a follower's passions may be inflamed. Is it that time already? It's not that late. Strohl and I talked for a while.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
That reminds me.
We'll arrive in the Ocean City the day after tomorrow. Hazemay, you've erected a tent up above, haven't you? Do take care that you don't get carried off by the wind. I'm confident it will take more than that to pull the tent apart, though I suppose some caution is warranted. Worst case scenario, you've got wings. You could just fly back to us, no? My young friend, where did you hear e.g. if are capable of flight. I hate to disappoint, but they're rather more of her for gliding. In 2 days, we'll be in Port Brawlhaven. We've really gotten used to all this traveling, don't you think? Okay, so let's save. Now that we know how to improve our stuff, let's go ahead. Here, the books. The bookshelf is lined with interesting books. The books I could read are, and we'll continue this one, a fictional chronicle of a boy's journey in a fanciful place called the New World. I'm in the middle of reading this one. Seems like a book that will really expand the mind. Want to read it together by the window? If I read this book, I may gain more imagination. Shall we spend some time reading this book? Yes, read it.
What's that?
He stared up at the heavens. There, sparkle in the azure firmament caught his eye. The moon at midday? No, despite its cold, stony glow, this was no moon nor star. There were those who said it was the corpse of an ancient, indomitable dragon. Others said it was a pavilion in the sky, erected by Imperium beings.
Oh, yeah?
So he sees a strange light shining in the sky the way it's written. I feel like this light is meant to be the key to the new world or something. What do you think the light is? The remains of a dragon? Or a pavilion built by Imperial beings? Let's see. I'm gonna save the pavilion.
That's right.
I think it's the pavilion. Yeah, there's something dreamlike about people who live in the sky, isn't there? You think they have wings? I feel like my imagination is improved after considering the possibilities with Gallico.
Alright.
Okay. I know this new world is just fictional, but I'd want to visit if it were a real place. There's still more left to read in this book. I'll pick up from here next time.
Nura speaking.
Let's see, this is Norris. I've got something on the old girl's radar, so we'll be taking a short stop.
The city ruins come into view. This place once flourished through the excavation of magma crystals by migrant workers. The work was hard, but the miners were hardy and spirited, and the promise of riches lured many here. In its time, it may have rivaled Brilhaven. However, the promise of strong magma drew forth the humans. As tragedies climbed, it became a ghost town. Now only the threatening glimmer of the crystals remained. And with the promise of abandoned riches followed the thieves. For some reason, though, they all seemed to scurry home empty-handed, gripped by fear.
City ruins, huh? Tis a truly harrowing sight. Look at all those crystals. Simply coming here is enough to wound the soul. A chill settles into my very bones as I consider what could have occurred here. Something wrong, lad? Did the Gauntlet Runner get the best of your stomach again?
No.
No, sorry, I was just reminded of something unpleasant. Let's see, are you okay? And let's head back. I'm gonna say, are you okay?
Okay?
Are you okay?
What?
Yeah, sorry to cause you any concern. I know what destroyed this village, I've no doubt about it. This is the work of a human. Indeed, the scars left upon this place differ from the traces left behind by monster attacks or acts of war. Right. I don't know if the magma crystals are what attracted the humans here or if the attack caused them, but my hometown will eventually... Strohl. I'll make no assumptions about what runs through your mind, but I would ask you to recall the time when we cut down the human at the castle and saved all those lives within.
That's why.
Do not allow your thoughts to dwell on negativity. The day will come when both this place and your homeland will flourish once again. In a way, Hayes' advice is kind of good, but at the same time, it also rubs me a bit the wrong way because it's trying to cancel out the negative thoughts. Now, I'm no mental health professional, but there's a lot of talk about how bad it is to try and squash negative thoughts instead of just let them flow, so maybe Strohl kind of needs some meditation here. But still, Hayes' advice isn't so bad. It's more so important that you have to keep on fighting to get through things.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I feel like coming face to face with the cruel decline of the village has deepened my wisdom in its own way.
All right.
Okay.
Hey!
Alright, my stomach sends notice that our next meal is overdue. Why don't we head back? So I guess Naras can read the room when he wants to, huh?
So,
Let's put this place behind us.
Here.
By the by, I made another drawing. This picture will bring viewers no joy, but it's an important sight to document nonetheless. Oh, nice. I'll take the drawing with me to ensure I never forget what happened here.
As the sun sinks below the horizon, the Gauntlet Runner arrives in a land dense with trees. The glow of the Gauntlet Runner pierces the dark, warmly enveloping them in its light.
Let's see, the day after tomorrow will be in a real maritime city. I bet we'll be able to see the ocean soon. First time for both of us. Okay, let's save. Okay. So Hayes May's gonna be there.
All right then.
Okay, so take this one. Strohl doesn't have anything, so let's spend time with Hayes May.
Ah, it's you.
Hello there, I've gotten altogether too much time on my hands. What say we take a little rest and talk a moment? No trace of enemies around by my ears, peaceful for now, which means we get to have a little break. By recalling the past and planning for the future with Hayes May, maybe I can hone my imagination. Should I spend time talking with Hayes May? Yes.
Good grief.
Goodness, time to bid farewell to Martyr. Isn't it? I can't help but feel a connection to that place. The village from which I originally hail is not far from Martyra. The air there agrees with my skin more than Grand Trad's. Despite what happened, it's nice and quiet. I feel more relaxed in the capital. Let's see. Gonna say it's nice and quiet. It's nice and quiet in Martyra. Yes, on this subject in particular, we are in full agreement. Speaking of which, where is your hometown? I've heard before that you've received this mission from the hidden village where His Highness the Prince resides. Alright, my apologies, I didn't mean to ask with such carelessness. Your tribe faces even harsher prejudice than the UGF. I'll not pry if you'd rather not discuss it. Hold on, guys, I just want to check on stream. Alright, looks like I'm still good. There are none alive who wouldn't want to forget certain aspects of their past, myself included. But if that is truly the case, then perhaps it is not one's past that defines their character, but what they do in the present and the future. If we were to all face the future together, then perhaps someday we could find ourselves living in a world resembling the one from that novel you carry. I felt my imagination grow as Hazemay and I discussed the challenges still ahead of us.
All right.
Okay. I'm glad to have such an opportunity to converse. If a good night's rest evades you, then I will keep you company instead. Hazemay and I talked for a while.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Quite.
The salty yet strangely refreshing aroma of seawater is already upon us. At this rate, we should reach Brilhaven by tomorrow. Seawater? I thought so. The air feels a lot more clammy, so I assumed that's what it was. And so we put the forest behind us. At long last, that must mean we've already ventured beyond where that cliff collapsed, barring passage. 'Twould seem it was fixed without a trace of its ruin. And speaking of ruin, Nurse, do you remember that we are relying on you for safe passage the rest of the way? Okay, tomorrow we should be able to see the ocean. Nurse said the waters around Brilhaven are kind of strange. I'm curious what he meant by that. Okay, let's save. And then let us go and read. Bookshelf is lined with interesting books. The books I could read are, and they're the same as always, so we're gonna do New World. A fictional chronicle of a boy's journey in a fanciful place called the New World. I am almost done reading it. Seems like a book that will really expand the mind. Want to read it together over by the window? If I read this book, I may gain more imagination. Shall we spend some time reading this book? Yes, read it.
What's that?
He continued to trapeze through the raging sandstorm. At last, he came upon a cave, the entrance gaping like the maws of a beast. The walls of the cave were translucent, revealing the inside to be a gigantic, intricately winding labyrinth, fantastical and akin to a mirage.
Yeah?
A giant cave with glass walls in the desert. That sounds otherworldly, but also strangely familiar. Well, whatever. What's it sound like to you? Sounds pretty. Sounds dangerous. Sounds safe. I'm gonna say sounds pretty. That would be a beautiful sight. Yeah, I bet it'd be dazzling in the daylight, probably at night too, sparkling in the moonlight. I feel like envisioning the scene with Gallica has improved my imagination. Okay. I know this new world is just fictional, but I would want to visit if it were a real place. With that, I finished the book. I feel like my understanding of the world has deepened.
Alright.
Ooh, nice. So, that's good to know.
Gauntlet runner sighted!
Enemies coming our way, or so I thought. Looks like it's that Missy's Gauntlet Runner coming for us this time. Hey, you lot. Yeah, on the Gauntlet Runner over there. You're not becoming king on my watch. I got a short fuse, you know? That means if you don't come out right now, kaboom. So the young miss says, I'm hoping you lot are willing to act. Let's see, of course, and now she's done it. I feel like saying this, now she's done it.
Come on, then.
If she wants a boom, she'll get one. Wait, they're coming on board at the other end? Well, now we have to accept their challenge.
It's you! So we meet again! Maybe you got the better of me last time, but you're about to get some payback.
Well, I'm wondering why you didn't recognize our Gauntlet Runner, Katharina.
Give me a break, lady. Ever heard of learning from your mistakes? Sorry, but we don't intend to lose either.
Ooh, big talk. Well, I'm willing to rewrite my record if that's what it takes to be queen. My people are suffering as we speak. Who's gonna save the Parapus if I don't give it all I've got? I promised them all I'd become queen. You're all decent people, got nothing against you, but I'm not holding back.
Looks like you've gotten stronger.
Okay.
Last chance to give up.
I shall vanquish evil.
Do this.
I'll crush you.
Ready to lose?
Okay. Let's see what I've got. Okay, nothing to...
Nothing.
My aim is ever true.
Let's see.
Blade in hand.
Can't do fire, so we'll do lightning.
Be neither timid nor arrogant. I'll use what I must. Some dark
Do this.
Only a flesh wound.
That sounded like the Black Knight there.
Edward's guard is down.
Take that!
Hope, you gotta aim better than that.
Let's do this fair and square. Last chance to give up.
My aim is short.
That's nothing. You'll feel this one.
Okay, we need healing.
Edward's guard is down.
Nothing personal.
I shall fight as the noble I am. I call upon royal power within.
Let's stay calm. Come forth, royal soul.
Feel him.
We're not out of this yet.
My thanks.
Trust me.
Helpful as ever.
Strohl,
Observe the enemy.
sap your defenses.
Okay. Let's try this one.
Why are you so strong, damn you? But this is where the real fight begins. Get ready to get stomped.
Get ready to get beaten, lady.
This is a joke. Nothing. Strong.
In the name of just Swordmaster, you'll be dust. Tougher than I thought.
Magic Seeker. We can do this.
Do this.
Much thanks.
Thank you.
I owe you.
I stand ready. Gunner!
Let's try poisoning her.
May yet cling to life.
I see your game.
Finesse. Beautiful dodge, Heisman.
Okay.
Formidable indeed.
I shall vanquish evil. Take that!
No. Why? Why? I trained so much for this. This isn't supposed to happen.
We're just that much more experienced, that's all. see. Tekkon. For a moment there, I read that as Tekken. Soothing sweet burn, huh?
This path has led to mastery.
Okay.
I'll strive for greater heights.
Alright, so got magic up increased. And I'd rather take this
I
one.
admit, it feels good to get stronger.
I shall strive to use this power wisely.
Even I had more to learn.
Ooh, stats are increased, nice.
Splendid growth.
Wind dodge, huh? Nice.
My power swells forth.
Let's see. Medium to one enemy, nice. Agility increased by 2.
I've lost!
Damn, I lost again. If I could just beat you, I'd ask you to join me, but that power of yours is really something. But don't you rest easy, cause I will win next time. Start preparing now, you got that? Katharina, cheer up.
Yeah?
I saw your runner, so I followed you. You're as tough as they say. You don't... Cuz... Who do you think I am, exactly? Pardon me, I know perfectly well you're the great Katharina Gran. Everyone here knows. In fact, all their hopes are pinned on you.
Oh.
Are all these people migrating to find work even though it might kill them in the end? What other options do partypuss like them have? It might be dangerous, but you've gotta break some eggs to make an omelet. You dork, cuz... Wait, take this and see if you can't stop everyone from leaving for now.
Hey.
Good news, you lot. Katharina's made a generous donation. Oh, thank you. Now we can eat for once.
Listen to me!
Listen, everyone. I know these times are trying, but this kind of work ain't the answer. If you can hold out for just a little longer, I swear I'm gonna set things right for us.
Well then.
Now there we are. We believe in you, Katharina. I earned that money slaying a monster just a few days ago. It was meant to be the start of my royal campaign fund. Small price to pay for helping out my people, but it'll last them, what, a few weeks at most? They'll be heading out to find work again in no time. I just can't fathom dying to earn a living, and the fat cats are all too happy when the partypuss take them up on it.
Oh, make it happen.
When I'm in charge, first thing I'm gonna do is offer bounties for their bloody heads. They squeezed us dry, so I'll squeeze them right back. Let's see. Will that work? And is money the answer? Kind of illusion of choice here. But I'm gonna say, will that work? I can't help but wonder if that would solve anything. Honestly, I have no idea. Even now, tons of people aren't gonna survive, and I can't tell people who aren't eating today to wait until tomorrow while I think of something. I was just lucky, you know, I had the strength to push through and survive. The truth is, most people don't have that kind of strength. They need someone to provide it for them.
That's why.
You should know better than most. Those who can act gotta take action. If they don't, nothing in this bloody world's gonna change. It'll stay as rotten as it is. So many say there's nothing to be done, but they only say that because the Paripus are right where they want them, beneath everybody.
Just ain't right.
They couldn't have the Paribus start doing well for themselves. That would shake up the shoddy ground they're standing on. They like this twisted world just as it is. Let's change things. Not everyone's like that. Let's save them too. I'm gonna say, let's save them too.
In that case,
We can save those people too.
Oh.
Even though they're my enemies, maybe they're struggling in their own way.
Come off it.
But that doesn't mean they can make the Paripus suffer for it, so, I'll figure that out before I take the throne. And I'm thinking you have to have a better idea of that when you set out for the throne, but my party's not any better.
Thanks.
Much obliged, Tomaso. We may be enemies, but I like having these talks. I'm not as powerful as I need to be, but still, I reached out to the recruitment center and we should be seeing in bigger rewards from bounties. Heck on it. We gotta keep taking those monsters down. We'll beat this world into peace together. I can feel Katharina's indignation towards the world's absurdities as well as her deep faith in me. The loyal hunter, Katharina, keeper and inheritor of the brawler's virtues. Through thy shared bond, a new heroic embodiment slumbering within thee has come to blossom. Bear this new power, foster this connection, and by their strength fulfill thy duty.
I'm not letting anyone die.
See, Brawler Archetype Adept. The party can now study the Pugilus bounty bonus, huh? Okay. You can now study the Pugilus in Academia. Try seeing what new powers await you. Recruitment sound and her bounties have increased due to the effects of bounty bonus. Next time I see you, I'm taking you down for sure, so don't go dying on me.
As the shadows are stretched to their limits before darkness takes them, the Gauntlet Runner arrives in a balmy wetland. Nocturnal creatures who lay dormant beneath the fens in the light rise to seek out their prey. Meanwhile, the party rests their weary souls, fatigued by the long journey, under the protection of the Gauntlet Runner.
Okay. So we'll be arriving tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of place Brawlhaven is. Okay. Do that. Alright. So we can do imagination and everything here, huh? What other options do I have? The bath and that's it, huh? Let's spend time with Hulkenberg. Well met. I don't suppose you're as overburdened with free time as I am. I'm certainly no stranger to traveling, but I have no idea how to spend idle hours. If the idea appeals, might we talk a bit? By recalling the past and planning for the future with Hulkenberg, maybe I can hone my imagination. Should I spend time talking with Hulkenberg? Yes. I was very taken with the sandworm dish. It is incredible that pairing the unique ingredients of Martira with Port City spices could result in something so divine. When two dissimilar things that would never meet cross paths, an unexpected synergy can occur. Put that way could not be the same. Put that way could not the same be said of our powers? You might be right. Let's see, that's a good example. These two seem the same, so I'm just gonna say that's a good example. It's a good example. I knew you'd understand. There's only one who has eaten of the same sandworm dish could. You know how sometimes when the powers within us resonate together, they can erupt into a move we'd never have conceived of prior? Perhaps the interweaving of these various diverse powers is what we'd call a miracle. The hero kings of yore fought alone and were ultimately beaten. I feel the possibilities available to us as we fight together far outstrip theirs. Choosing to engage with the unknown when you encounter it can bring about the power to change the world. Now I'm really looking forward to the next city. Hulkenberg and I talked about things to come. I feel like my imagination is increased.
All right.
Alright. It's getting late, but not unmanageably so. What say you? Shall we stay up a while longer? Hulkenberg and I talked for a while.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Captain. Rise and shine, what? Almost there.
Brylehaven. It's been a while.
You've been before?
My parents took me once when I was a boy. I remember the day we arrived, and waking up to the smell of the ocean. The place was crowded beyond belief. Everything was so different from our hometown in the countryside.
I felt much the same when I reached the royal capital. Quite a sight compared to my little village, with naught but fields and mountains.
To be sure. And where are you from, Hulkenberg?
You cannot guess? Surely Montario in the east. Why, the Hulkenbergs are one of that nation's most prominent aristocratic houses, if not foremost among them.
You don't say.
Well, yes. Though I've no close relationship with my parents. I've hardly seen them since I left home.
I see. Suppose we've all come a long way, haven't we?
Seems we'll make it to the exhibition just in time.
With a master at the helm, you were bound to, eh?
I really hope Joanna shows up.
We resolved to trust her. So we simply watch and wait.
Right. Everyone set and steady? Welcome, ladies and gents, to the coastal crown jewel, Port Brylehaven.
Port Brylehaven, capital of the Principality of Oceania, the western annexed state of Uchronia. A vivacious city, Brylehaven is port of call to ships of both trade and war, bustling with hardy sailors. From the natural wonders caused by Magna to the Colosseum's contests of strength, people flock here to see the marvels of a city that never sleeps. The sea guides the Gauntlet Runner into the city, alongside a warm, salty breeze.
Wow! It's the ocean! Just look! There's water all the way to the horizon! It's kind of like the capital, but totally different!
Yes. The City of Water.
Brilehaven. Sancta Cadeau, you've brought us quite a magnificent head. How do you think it'll stack up against your competitors?
With the warrior monks at my side, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. But I won't presume to know the rankings. I humbly leave it in God's hands.
Lineup's a bit conventional for my taste so far. Here comes our mysterious little underdog now. Stir things up a bit here, will you?
Would you look at these spectacular gauntlet runners? They must all be worthy of kings.
All these gauntlet runners seem like lizard or reptile-like in design here. It's still kind of interesting. Hey OC, how you doing? Glad you could make it.
Looks like Luis is still the only one with a Sky Runner, though.
I feel like taking a break right now to use the bathroom and get a drink, though, so I'll check on replies when I get back. So, be right back. And I'm back. Let me check on things here before I resume, though. Okay, let's go into here. Okay, didn't miss anything there. Looks like I didn't miss chat for sure, so that's good. Okay.
No, I'm sure those blasted clergymen have some mechanism for it too. The Sanctus Church funded the Skyrunners to begin with. If you can call that flying, of course. All just piffling about with levitation magic. Only a passing acquaintanceship to real aerodynamics. Birds have never needed magic to fly. Just the mechanical ingenuity of the feathered wing. That's the kind of breakthrough I'd like to make. You'll see, eh? One day, I'll make those wings reality, and we'll soar like birds.
Let's see. I'm looking forward to it. I won't hold my breath. Yeah, not that interested. Now we've got some different things, but I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to it.
Good. I'll have you run in the sky with me. Mark my words.
If it isn't the pretentious little gallant and his cronies. If it isn't the walking headache. Well. No head to be seen. Weren't you talking big about chasing down that Heismay fiend?
You're referring to me, yes?
You're the man. This is a joke, is it? He's your great and terrible bounty. You know there's still time to drop out before you humiliate yourself in front of the masses.
Say what you wish. He is one of us. Tis not his head we are offering.
Truly? You're allied with a wanted criminal? Are you all mad? Oh, your public humiliation would be quite a sight. Come, Hector.
Still as arrogant as ever.
And that was?
A candidate and one of Luis's henchmen. We don't exactly see eye to eye.
Confound it. No damn parking spaces left. Well, let's look for somewhere a bit less unpleasantly populated.
Why not just park on top of one of the gauntlet runners?
Tomorrow is finally the exhibition to present all the heads. I really hope Joanna shows up.
Even they're admitting their suspicions of this, huh? Because I wanted to put her 6 feet under.
You needn't all sleep here tonight, you know? I can stay and wait for the cavalry. Got to give the old girl a tune-up anyway, don't I?
Tis much appreciated. In that case, we should look for an inn about the city. And we must sample the local delights. They've far better seafood than in the capital.
See, I can't wait.
To stop for rest, surrounded by fine food, is an uncommon blessing.
If you're sure, Nearest, then we'll leave it to you. Me, I long for a proper bed.
So be it. Let's find ourselves some lodging.
Really?
Okay, we came all this way to a big city. I think we deserve a real inn. Okay, let's save here. And let's see if I am allowed to teleport.
Where to?
Apparently not. Okay. Boo. Let me teleport.
Oh, this blooming heat.
Yeah? Hey, mister.
Hello,
Okay. Go to the ferryman. Anywhere you want to go, I'll take you to the far bank. Merchant's Bazaar. Angler's Inn Square, the Inn District, huh? Yes. Angler's Inn Square, then hop on.
Say.
Okay, now...
Whoa!
You can really see the king's face from here, huh? I'd realized Twist slowly moving, but its coming to Brawlhaven was beyond my expectations. I wonder why it came. I do suspect it keeps a watchful eye on the top candidates. It's evident that we're being observed as we've seen from the Coronation Rock. Well, maybe that's actually for the better, seeing that thing in the sky might make everyone really think about the kingdom's future. Anyway, we'd better get it to finding an inn we can stay at. Okay, so let's save again just to make sure. And I should probably... Wait, no, I don't think I can. But let's check. Yeah, I can't. Not until I find out how to go through that.
What do I do?
So I know they said I could. Let's see.
Oh, this blooming heat.
Okay, let's try here. Okay, we can't go here then. But there is more here, so I can do that. I feel Moore's presence. Go to the Academia, so we'll do that. Simply so that we can keep our characters progressing. I sense the presence of a new archetype. Might I see them? If you have a mind to show me. Okay. Not there.
What now?
Let's see if I can do the things here. Okay, so... Chapter 3. This one, 15 archetypes. Oh, I'm nearly done with this one. Okay. So that won't be too big of a problem. So we'll do this. Okay. Study. And we need Hazemay. Hazemay was a thief. So we got the warrior. Brawler. And this is the knight. Okay. Merchant we don't care about right now. Seeker. Alright. So let's see what Hazemay gets here. Okay, it looks like buffs and debuffs, so this is a nice one to get. Study. The Faker. This is the archetype he sensed from Alonso's way of life. Its heroic embodiment is that of the Revelator, one who breathes new life into old values by virtue of keen insight and masterful wit. 2,500 mag is required to channel the Faker for the first time. Would you like your ally to unlock it? Yes.
I'm counting on you.
Yes, I want to entrust Hazemay with this power. Then hear us, O valiant heart, by shared resolve and honored creed, take new form as a Faker. I hear the voices of past heroes' souls. O worthy heart who tempers anxiety into strength, if thou art prepared to embrace the unknown and sow chaos in thy opponent's hearts, I shall bestow upon thee our souls, the soul of the Faker. How interesting, this Faker's soul. I can certainly get behind a power that baffles enemies and sows chaos. Disorder is a valid tactic in battle. The Faker archetype has awakened. You can now change archetypes from the main menu.
I have retained my edge.
Okay, so we get daggers and a lot of that. So guard pin doesn't change, the headband doesn't change, just the item. Okay, so confirm, yes. Okay, and then let's do this. Okay. I wish I could get more of them, but oh well. Let's do this one. To unlock this skill and make it inheritable, I'll need 2,400 mag. Would you like to proceed? Yes. Alright. So we do that one. Alright. So we got that. And we'll save. Alright. And before I continue on, I need to check on something here. Just... okay. Nothing too important, so back. Do you wish to leave this place? Yes. Then I bid you farewell and good luck. Alright, so we'll save again. Okay, let's see if I can...
Where to?
Get anywhere. Nope. Still gonna force me everywhere, uh-huh. I know. It's gonna force me everywhere. So... So let's do this. I saw in Martyria, didn't I? Another participant in the tournament, right? Were you planning to stay at this inn? Unfortunately, there aren't any beds left. Because of the exhibition, everywhere's full up. And after I told myself I was going to make sure to stay somewhere nice this time, too.
I see.
That's so. If this place is no good, we'll have to look for somewhere else. Well, wait, the Gauntlet Runner of yours, the one you had parked in the middle of Martyria. Hey, come on, what sort of technology does it use? Let me in on it, too. It's a secret. Wow, stingy, and here I was gonna tell Dad all about it. Just so you know, I'm participating too. I've got a real Gauntlet Runner of my own and everything. That means if you're stubborn and refuse to tell me, I can make you do it by force. Nice try, kid. Well, we're not up to anything. Okay, so we have to talk to these guys. Look who's here. You're that Elder fellow from Martyria, ain't ya? Guess we both got ourselves marks for the exhibition. Were you hoping to stay at this inn? Sorry to disappoint you, if so, because I just got tossed out on my ear by the innkeeper. So it's already full, and the one calling itself the Come One, Come All In. Some joke, eh? That's going to be an issue. Is there anywhere else to stay? Well, we can ask him. There's 2 other inns nearby, but I'm hardly thrilled with either option. On the other side of the fountain is the Golden Corral Pavilion, where knobby wankers like Ford and Stay. A party bus or an elder staying there, fat bloody chance, and there's an inn past the Golden Corral, but that one's twice as pricey. Rumors say that's where you'll find Lewis naturally, probably bought out the whole place for his rebel-rousing crew.
Yes, but...
You think so? Guess we'd better avoid that one then. Not like we could afford it to begin with. As far as other options go, there's the Spider's Den over by the tavern. There's a dodgy-looking Ujiv standing out front, smiling all creepy like, puts me right off staying there, so I'll pass. Besides, who needs an inn where there's a tavern? From this day on, I claim it as my castle. I doubt we'd get much sleep in a tavern, I sure wouldn't anyway. Not that this Spider's Den sounds so much better. Okay, so that's how I congregate on them, huh?
What is it you require?
You there, you have a look about you like one of my supporters, are you? No. No need to be shy, dear boy. Finding yourself drawn to beauty is only natural after all. And I want to slug you in the face.
Yeah.
Beauty is all my creed, and more than anything, a king should be beautiful, should he not? And whichever inn I choose for my beauty rest must be worthy of my resplendent grace, yes, like this Golden Corral Pavilion. Alas, I doubt you have been blessed with wealth enough to enjoy a room at such a lavish place as this. This guy's a jerk. I wouldn't want to stay in an inn full of people like him anyway. Unfortunately, all the other decent inns seem to be full, so we've only got one choice left. I really don't want to, but should we check out this Spider's Den we heard about from Loveless earlier? We probably should.
Alright then.
Okay, so it's that way.
Yeah? I'm not.
What do I do?
Worrying keeper. Oh, on the hunt for lodging, are we? I have a spare room available. I won't refuse service to anyone, and my rooms are affordable for all. Criminals, persecuted tribes, oh no, I wouldn't dream of turning business away. Feel free to have a look at the accommodations. We can discuss payment afterwards. You know, this place really seems shady, but we might as well look at the room.
Well, should have figured they'd be out of the upper rooms with all the travelers in town.
'Tis a far cry from the runner, at least. I am full glad to stretch my legs again.
Did you see that giant bug just now? It was like the size of my head. It's gotta be poisonous.
Oh, pull yourself together. It's just a insect.
Listen to you. You can't have lived in a giant sandworm den and been afraid of bugs, surely.
Hence the hut.
That's why you lived in that hut?
More importantly, we must discuss tomorrow's proceedings.
Right. We meet up with Joanna, then get to the exhibition after that. Joanna will admit to the crime. The guilt of a sanctoress, especially of her status, will guilt Forden by association. That should make an impression on Louise.
Oh my gosh. They're confident about this, even though we did nothing to her.
Yet for all this, we need Joanna herself. Do you truly think she would join us?
No, and that's why we should have done her in. We have to trust her, who knows?
Who knows?
She chose to offer her own head instead of the monster's. If you ask me, she'd not have done that if she didn't believe it truly was her child. At least in part. I believe she expressed genuine parental love. I want to believe that, at least.
That doesn't excuse what she did, Hazemay.
And what if she ends up not showing up? I mean, you're the one who got the worst of all of this in the first place.
Hold on, guys. I want to just check on my mic. Okay, good.
If it comes to that, you've still got my head for the days. After all, the bounty still says I'm a kidnapper.
Balderdash will not sacrifice an innocent life for our victory. But your offer speaks highly of your spirit.
Right. We've done what we can do. All that's left is to keep our chins up and face the competition head-on.
Too early yet to retire for the night. We could drop by one of the local pubs. Listen for what perks our ears. And while we're at it, might as well sit down to a proper supper, eh? Could be my last, after all.
Oh, haha, very funny. But I guess good info is important. Let's go check it out.
What are we without beauty? What do we care for promises and speeches from repulsive mouths? Beauty is everything, and it is time our country reflected that.
And it's also time that I put you 6 feet under, Milo.
Sounds like the candidates have started their speeches. Let's listen in for a bit.
With all skills and talents equal, would you see the crown atop an ugly head or a handsome one? Beauty is power. Lack one, you should lack the other. When I take the throne, all the hideous will be stripped of their titles. Together, we shall build a nation ruled only by radiant, everlasting paragons of beauty.
And that's way too subjective. Adding to your arrogance and making me want to punch you in the face even more.
Well, he has a point about what people tend to follow.
What? This really doesn't bother you? It isn't right.
You'd rather wait for a king who was always right, then?
Enough about appearance. A beautiful face cannot win wars. Without military power, the crown's voice means nothing. When I am king, I will establish a unified nation with the Rousant tribe at its head. Our tribes, our status, they mean something. You could stray from a monolith, but it will still remain. There can be no true peace without using the power we command. Hear, hear, for Rousant pride!
What pride is there in seizing power by force? Disgraceful.
When I'm queen, all the land's corrupt upper classes will be wanted men! We'll have our guillotines sharpened and our wallets open! Those who thought to tilt the world with their heavy coffers will be a head lighter! We'll split their fortunes and toast to our health!
Preach it, Katharina! You just what this land needs!
Wouldn't the first target be the one on the throne, then?
Everyone's just shouting all their ideals out.
These candidates are all pathetic. Nobody here even compares to Lord Luis.
You don't even know him either. But I agree that they're pathetic.
Luis isn't even in the running, lad. All blighters afraid of losing to Sanctifex Ford.
You've got it backwards, geezer. He's just not wasting his time on these windbags.
I confess, I know not how to feel. 'Tis unprecedented. Never before have our citizens come together in the street in broad daylight and shared their true feelings on king and kingdom.
Indeed. Is this really the kind of change His Majesty wanted? Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Let's go in. If we hang around too long here, we're bound to get dragged into a nasty argument.
When I'm king, pleasures will rule the city. A bar on every block and a flagon in every hand. All you can drink, all year round.
Woo! Next round's on, lovely.
Hold on, guys. I want to check something out. Oh. Nothing too much matters.
Let fools be content with their fool dreams. Grant me the crown, and I will make our kingdom powerful beyond imagining.
Most powerful? Doesn't really mean anything, does it? Aren't you another one of Luis's flunkies, hound? Stop barking and get back to your master.
Always about that goddamn Luis. I've been in the guard just as long as he has, you swine.
Quite a lively crowd. Looks like a great many of them came all the way here to watch the competition.
It's just same thing.
That lad there, he's an elder, isn't he? Are you a candidate too?
Well, strike me down, you're right. Never seen one of you blokes before. Might be out of luck in the race, though. You'll not stand a chance.
Pay him no mind. A drunk's words weigh nothing.
And yet we're in the top 1,000.
Wow, there are fish swimming in front of the store.
Ah, I've heard of this. 'Tis on the customer to fish up a catch, and the chefs will prepare it for eating.
I admit, I'm curious. Shall I sing a shanty for you as you take up rod and reel, Captain?
Please don't make me fish. Ooh. Color seems kind of weird to me, but that's a whopper right there. Caught some weird, creepy creature. Even that agreed.
Is that really edible? It doesn't look quite natural.
And it looks still alive too.
Means let us try it.
Did she even look at it?
Why, tis delicious.
Oh my gosh.
The aroma of the sea simply floods the mouth. Ah, and what splendid crunch it has.
I guess I'll try a bite. I mean, they wouldn't let us fish up anything outright inedible. I hope.
Mustn't be picky. It's a delicacy. At least we'll die together. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm gonna say that just because it gave me a good laugh. At least we'll die together.
At least we'll die together.
Oh, well, I was the one who suggested fishing. Right. The noble thing to do is see it through. Ugh. It's rather slimy for my liking.
I said nothing since Hulkenberg seemed to enjoy it so much, but if you're going to eat an unknown fish, might you not at least sear it first?
'Tis fine enough without, I say.
I don't know how to respond to that one.
You need way higher standards, lady.
Excuse me, friends. Don't mean to interrupt your meal. I'm Batlin, a church crier for the tournament. Maybe you remember me. Sounds like you made a hell of a splash in Martyra, huh? Felling a vicious beast's one thing, but not many candidates took it figuratively.
I had to do something. How do you hear about it? We're trying to eat here. Let's see. These are the two that I feel like saying, so we'll just say, how do you hear about it?
How did you hear about all this?
It's a crier's business to hear things. So, do you have a head ready?
Well, it's gonna be your head if you don't stop talking.
Well, let's see. Got a head right here, I suppose.
Lips sealed, huh? Well, I'm certainly looking forward to the exhibition then. Especially considering the diversity of your little party. I've always preferred to chase an interesting lead over a sure bet. Can't help it, I'm afraid. So, I'll have a keen eye out for you, alright?
That crier's an odd one. Not really what you'd expect from a Sanctus promoter. Who is he?
Rumor has it that young candidate hasn't brought a head. Wonder what he's playing at.
Whatever it is, he's about to get a sharp lesson in the ways of the world, poor lad.
I think he's worth keeping an eye on. Keep it under your hats, chums, but his power may rival Count Luis. I think he's just the ingredient we need to spice this race up a bit.
Right. Just got back from the pub, did you?
You wound me. Nobody trusts a radical, huh? I expect you'll see for yourself.
Joanna and Barden should have reached the city. Joanna and Barden should reach the city by morning. And I imagine they will aim to find us, and our gauntlet runner, Nurus, ought to be there to greet them. When the day dawns, we should head to the gauntlet runner. Okay. So it looks like we can't really do anything, since the quest that I need to partake in can only be done in the daylight. So, stroll there, bed.
Look at that.
I'm done for the day. Should I retire for the night? Yes, let's rest.
Good night.
Rest well.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
The man's sloshed. Again.
What happened to waiting for our guests? You utter buffoon! Is this why you volunteered to stay behind?
Seems like Joanna and Barden aren't here yet.
Oh, I feared this might happen. And we've no other head to offer the judges. Tis a precarious position.
Let's all stay calm, all right?
Okay. I just did that without spotting it normally, but oh well. It's a good choice anyway.
Ah! I'm going to splash some water on my face.
What the?
My sincerest apologies. I wasn't expecting anyone to come in. You see...
How did you come to be here? Explain yourself!
Is something the matter, Barden?
They were here the whole time?
I'm so terribly sorry. We heard the Gauntlet Runner had a washroom, so we thought we'd freshen up a bit. I bathed first, and was resting in the back room, contemplating my final day as a Sanctress.
I still find it hard to believe you came here that easily.
Sir Nurus over there very decently let us in to wash up.
I couldn't stand it, old thing. Her heart would bring any right-thinking man to tears. Could have run like a bally thief in the night, but here she is, washing away her sins.
Oh my gosh. Do you even know her story?
It was more than a chap could bear, I say. Needed a drop of the grape and grain just to get myself through it.
Again, you're too gullible.
The bottle's barely any emptier. Was a drop really all it took to get you drunk?
Hold on, guys. This shouldn't take long. My phone's done charging. Alright. Here we go.
Oh, please do not blame the poor man. Talking to him has eased my heart for the trials to come.
Sure it has.
I cannot let myself betray you and regress to my vile delusions. I only sought to atone with myself before my sins are duly punished.
Again. Why should I believe you?
I understand. Thank you for coming. Then, as we agreed, please confess before the crowd when the time comes. To be honest, I'm hesitant to turn you in now you've genuinely decided to repent. I mean, we're hardly icons of virtue ourselves. In fairness, you're a woman of status, and it'll be a big crowd. We're not looking to instigate a public stoning here. You can explain yourself freely, in your own words. We can't ask anything more than that.
Thank you. Truly, I've felt so much more at peace since last we spoke. The fog has only cleared further, giving me clarity of purpose.
Again. It's kind of hard to believe she came like this after all she's done.
The fog, huh?
Thank you for everything. I do hope you win the throne.
See, I intend to. See, it seems unlikely. I'd rather not. I'm gonna say I intend to.
Yes, I intend to. Whoever the crown goes to, we're at least going to make sure it isn't used for evil.
At last, it seems our preparations are set. We need only trust that our plans will bear fruit.
Thank you all for waiting. The very first round of the tournament for the throne, the exhibition of the brave, is about to begin. Our monarchs-to-be will now present to the people the heads they seized to demonstrate their power as worthy of the throne. At a later date, when the second round is announced, the faces on the King's Rock, that is to say, the candidates with the top 20 approval ratings, will pass the first round.
20? 'Tis a great many eliminations in but one round.
I was hoping we'd at least make it through the first, but it might not be that simple.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes to the lineup of all the gorgeous faces at the judges' table, starting with His and Her Highnesses of Oceania and Montario.
Oh, it's her ladyship. Lord Montario's here too, eh? And the armor on that fellow over there? A general, is he?
And of course, we have the one, the only, the people's favorite, our guest from the Sanctus Church. Better known as the Miracle Saint, healer of all ills, presenting the lovely Lady Rella Cygnus.
Saint? Who's this? Someone fill me in. I've been literally living in a hole.
A brilliant healer. We've met, though a long time ago. Even as a student, she was already considered the kingdom's best in her field.
Looks like the crowd's on your side, milady. Can you give us a few words about what's on your mind as you take on the judge's mantle?
Well, I'm afraid you've rather got me on the spot. Hello, all. This city sure has, great seafood. And, well, sea creatures. Fascinating, aren't they? There's so much we still don't know about them. I did hear about a legend of some monster in the eastern seas of Oceania. Imagine, the mind races. I'm hoping I can investigate those sightings while I'm here.
That's just great, Lady Rella. I'll just stop you there, clock's ticking and all that. But we're thrilled you're enjoying your stay.
Sometimes I can hardly believe you're my sister. Still not much of a public speaker, are you?
So she's a saint?
Well, she seems like a nice enough lady.
We'd better stop worrying about her and focus on ourselves. I don't see Luis anywhere, but I bet he's got eyes in the crowd.
Now, the time has come. Let the exhibition of the brave begin! First up is a respected gentleman of the church. Guido, the head of the monk soldiers of the Crown Theocracy.
I've no taste for needless killing. Therefore, I chose a mark with meat, abundant and edible. After the judging, it will be served in a banquet for the poor.
A stand-up fellow, my good people! Strength and compassion in one package! He's got the crowd on his side right from the start!
Well, I wonder what his true aims are.
Is there anyone who can top this?
But yeah, I'm wondering what his true aims are, as well as the churches in general, because it can't be that generous. But then again, I got my biases against organized religion as a whole, because they just don't seem that great to me.
I can.
And we have a challenger! Second in line is the church's direct opposition, the spearhead of Count Luis's supporters, Glodell the Black Hound!
One look at the head and I know what you're thinking. Bit small, isn't it? Well, I can bloody well tell you I'm not like this smarmy git who fished up his dinner. I'll tell you what this is. Behold, the head of a hideous human! Where's your proof?
Yes, the young sod's right. How do we know that's really a human?
What drivel? Look at the thing! You think a normal beast could have a face like this?
Well, I doubt it, because all the ones that we've seen have giant heads.
Probably just made the damn thing yourself.
Oh, useless as ever. Did it never occur to him that the average citizen has never seen a human?
Now, everyone, let's have a little composure, please. Candidate Glodell, we're very much obliged. You may step down. Now, on to the next!
But they're making a big show of making everything big.
The size of that thing. Was that the monster of the Eastern Sea?
Someone took the beastie down. Who did the deed?
I'd heard tell of a monster tormenting the people of this beautiful port city. I could do no less than grant them respite from their suffering. Such is the duty of those with power.
Who expected anything less? His Eminence Borden is simply in another class. Suddenly the critics have all gone quiet. All I hear is gratitude.
Rella doesn't seem to
This
care.
trophy is more impressive than I expected. How are we going to make a stronger impression than that?
It's fine, and it's not looking great. I'm gonna say it's fine.
Fine. If he'd gone after us, the reaction would mean we'd have been written off no matter what we presented. Let's count ourselves lucky and trust in our strategy.
Now, no dirty looks, you lot. Next is the Pagan Assassin's Prize. Let's see what head we've got now. Thank you, Candidate Julian, for that helpful, exhaustive, and I think exhausting explanation. Whew. Now, we've had quite a succession up here, but our last is coming up now. This should wrap up our show. Now, if the last candidate, the Elden Boy, would please join us on the stage.
Where's their head?
Your pardon, madam, but would you happen to be the Lady of Martyra? Joanna, the Sanctoress?
Indeed. The head they've brought is mine.
The impudence. You dare offer an honored lady of the church before these judges? This is not to be borne.
I've got something to say to you too. That you chief there. Isn't that Heismay? The same damn criminal you were supposed to be chasing?
That's the infamous Heismay. The huge chief of all things.
This. After we saved your hide on the road.
Silence! He may be a former knight, but now he's a heinous criminal who stooped to kidnapping. Anyone who claims themselves his ally should be disqualified on the spot.
Please, wait. I have something I must confess to you all. You speak of the kidnappings that terrorized my home, Martyra. I am here to confess that the true culprit behind those atrocities was me. I was the caretaker of a hideous human in the basement of my castle. And to feed it, I abducted the innocent people of my own city.
I still find it funny that she's going along with this so well. Because I would have let them take Heismay right here.
What? Absurd. Speak sense, woman.
Master Heismay is innocent in all this. He was framed for crimes performed by my hand and in my name.
And I, Barden, captain of Martyra's Guard Corps, stand to vouch for all that she said.
Just so. It was this young candidate who killed that human, cleared me of the false charges, and dispelled the shadow over Martyra.
Thus, here I stand. My head is his to offer.
That's... well, that's quite a turn of events. We have our head, ladies and gentlemen, and it's unlike any we've seen yet.
How is this believable? She's an imposter. She's got to be.
Of course. That, or they're putting words in the poor woman's mouth. A sanctoress would never.
And this is why I hate organized religion, more so the people around it, because they are the ones that create a culture like this. Now, I wouldn't say that these people are bad as they're the followers instead of the leaders, because the leaders I have a big problem with, since they're far worse, but the followers like this tend to be too blind in their trust to think of anything for themselves, so they just think that those high up must be so good to have their position and such.
will His Eminence fall indeed?
The Honorable Master Godot should know whether I and my words can be trusted.
'Tis true to the last word, isn't it?
Yes, Your Eminence. Without question.
Young candidate, you have done well to bring about her repentance. Now, justice must be rendered.
Are you gonna put her 6 feet under like she deserves?
What? Right here and now?
Well, that's what should have happened, Strohl.
Your Eminence, a moment!
Thank you for your concern. But I have no objections. For a sinner like me, to confess the truth to the people has already been more than I deserve. O new king, it is my hope that you will rid the world of its twisted prejudices and common cruelties. Please, leave this country armed with the truth.
I will promise. I will do my best. Again, illusion of choice. So I'll just say I will do my best.
I'll do my best.
Well, folks, sometimes that's just how the curtain falls. If Sanctifex Forden turned in the biggest head, then our dark horse here has certainly turned in the heaviest. What an upset, ladies and gents! Who could see this coming?
Those crazy kids have done it again. What a show!
Wait, 49? That's weird. After the events of the exhibition, many people seem to have taken notice of me. I hope this eventually leads to saving the prince.
Barden just departed, wishing everyone well. I suppose he aims to reach Martira before Joanna's confession does.
And Forden himself. I hardly expected the man to make himself so visible.
Likely his attempt at redirection. Keeps the blame from falling on him and the church. Can't say it didn't work, I suppose.
And this is to be expected here.
I'm certainly not blameless in this either. It was my suggestion to make an impression by foregoing the pursuit of a monster's head in favor of a person's.
I guess, but...
Nevertheless, the Lady Joanna entrusted her final wishes to us, and we mustn't betray them. That's all we can do, really.
Not bad, pups.
We were passing on the course of a human hunt. You gave a most distinctive showing.
I suppose you're worth introducing ourselves to. I'm Fidelio, that's Basilio. Luis's right-hand man, see?
And now you walk with a Ujif at your side. Each ally of a different tribe.
Fascinating. Better to have dependable friends than familiar ones. Something we've got in common.
Not only did you expose a failing of the Sanctus Church, but you dared to bring her alive so Forden himself could do the grisly part before all his flock.
That was not our intent.
Oh, same idea, yeah? A real person's head gets more eyes on you than some decapitated beast. And now, you're the names on everyone's lips, aren't you?
Let's see, we'll only right it or wrong, and we'll say nothing.
That's not the point.
Well, it hardly matters. It's quite a feat for a no-name candidate to so deftly rub Forden's face in the dirt. A wake-up call, I'm sure.
For those who only know his honeyed words.
Oh, Lord Luis, we really should be going.
Relax. They're in the middle of a conversation.
I like a show of strength as much as the next girl, but I do so hate violent spectacles. A view from the sky sounds so much more enchanting, don't you think?
So this is what's become of Luis. There was something eerie to him even as a lad, but I'd never expected him to reach such heights.
Do you suppose we have his attention?
Last time he told us we had to demonstrate our power first. I'd like to think that if he went out of his way to talk to us, that's something we earned.
Oh, loves, I've got a message from Count Luis. He says he'll be sending a messenger along soon, so stay in the city, would you? And I have to say, I might not want to let you out of my sight either.
Oh my gosh. I hope that's a sign that she's an enemy that I could go after.
Master Luis? Master Luis was just here. What happened?
Well, he just left. You weren't told?
We'd better be getting back as well.
Damn it. What's so special about those fools?
Luis is having a go for Popeye, eh? Are you officially all flunkies in arms now, then?
Let's see. It's not a done deal. It might be a trap. See, I'm gonna say it might be a trap.
Might be a trap.
Don't get cold feet now. We knew going in that any plan to win his favor would be dangerous.
We have finally taken the first step in saving His Highness the Prince. If we can get the formula, then we yet have a chance of lifting the curse.
How fares His Highness, anyway? He still fights?
I took a look in the Farsight mirror a while ago. He's still asleep. But nothing's changed about his condition.
And do we know where this formula is?
No, but he's bound to keep it somewhere secret if it's evidence linking him to the assassination. Still, a formula would be useless unless it's within arm's reach for emergencies.
If it's something he'd keep close, then...
It's in his gauntlet, runner. It's in his pocket. It's engraved on his body. Well, his body wouldn't make sense. Though it wouldn't be unheard of. And I doubt it would be his gauntlet, runner, so I want to say it's in his pocket. But these two are the most likely, if it's him that used it.
Would he keep it in his pocket?
I doubt it. I mean, what if it slipped out? Maybe somewhere less precarious. Like in his gauntlet runner?
Do you really suppose it would be in the runner he uses even today? The incident was near a decade ago.
It's as good a chance as any. Getting inside would be a pain for anyone else, including us.
He said he would send a messenger. Perhaps it would be wise to wait until we've heard his missive.
Good point. Let's just wait for word then.
Joanna! A backwater sanctuarist denies me my moment of triumph. She defiles the very church itself. Oh, and naturally it was an elder of all people who stood her before me. Will that benighted tribe never stop dogging my heels?
An idea occurs, Your Eminence. For the tournament's next challenge, let us center the competition on a show of piety. Make them prove their Sanctus faith.
Oh yes, they are rigging it.
After all, Sanctism is the state religion. It would be the barest of leaps to suggest that loyalty to the church is loyalty to the state.
I assume you have a plan.
Altaberry's our next destination. The very seat of the faith outside the capital. I thought we might propose another hunt. This time for relics.
Ah, the so-called divine relics. Those false idols the pagans consider relics of their gods.
What need does the world have for gods beyond ours? Soon, they will talk of nothing but how to win the Sanctus Church's favor. Your Eminence's influence would be sure to reach even greater heights.
And in the pagan lands, the greedier candidates will plunder and pillage for idols as they see fit. Find footholds for our missionaries, all without getting our hands dirty. The collection of divine relics should be a spectacle held on Saint's Day. Our divine right will be undeniable. Once I take the throne, I will re-establish that these relics originally belonged to the Sanctus Church, and that they were ransacked from us in the course of history.
Oh, this is going how I expected it. At least in terms of this group.
Your Eminence, on that day, I should be grateful to be honored with a proper title.
Say no more. A concession only fair for the right hand of the Sanctifex.
Too big.
Ever at your service. You do not bow your head.
Oh, humblest apologies.
What troubles you, my child?
Well, my concern would be about the risks involved. Some theories suggest even the royal scepter was originally one of these relics. In the unlikely event that a divine relic were to be found to nullify the king's magic...
If such a relic existed, it would have been found long ago. You burden yourself with such fears. All you need to do is be a good saint. Smile, wave, and bless.
Rella, you are to return to the royal capital and gather the people under my banner.
Understood.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Hello? A word. Some odd blighter left a letter for you last night. Said he was Louis's man. Night Prowler, today, come. Bit curt, if I'm honest, hardly diplomatic. Seems like this Night Prowler place is some sort of pub or club. But do you know where it is?
On the city's outskirts. Seemed fairly dingy to my eyes. I can't imagine Louis at a haunt like that.
You think it's a trap? Maybe he's caught on to us?
If he wanted to trap us, I doubt he would make it so obvious. Though that doesn't guarantee our safety there, of course.
We have little other option but to show up.
I'll hang about in the runner. Keep myself busy with tinkering. Let me know if you talk yourself onto Louis's craft, eh?
Right then. Let's be off to this Night Prowler.
Okay. The Night Prowler,
Let's
huh?
hurry.
Place should be on the edge of town. I've heard the ferrymen should know how to get there. Let's see if I can turn in the quest that I should have been able to.
Where to?
Okay, I can't. So they're still locking me into place.
Well met, eh? Huh. Wonderful. Hang on. That's the one from the exhibition.
So let's go ahead and do this. Where are you off to? I'll take you where you need to go. No need for coin. We work for the city. Night Prowler. Night Prowler. Ah, so you're the ones them brothers that we're talking about, then I've heard all about it. So go on, hop right in behind me. Okay, then we'll save. Okay. Then we go into here.
Well,
oh, it's them,
look
huh?
who it is. Appreciate you coming out.
So it was you two.
You expected us to roll out the red carpet right into our headquarters. Consider this a pre-show. Still, you really are just a kid, aren't you?
And you're one to talk?
I wouldn't go having a laugh at me big brother's expense. That's when I get to step in. Make some points for me own life.
You are brothers. And he is the elder?
And here I thought the Magnus brothers' name was making the rounds. Shame that. It's fine. First offense and all won't kill you yet. Besides, Lord Luis has taken quite a shine to you lot. Before we let you see him, I have a question. I want you to think long and hard before you answer, right?
We're getting sinister looks from the whole pub.
What kind of king are you selling yourself to be exactly? Go on, let's have the pitch.
I'd help anyone in need. I'd treat all tribes equally, and I don't want to be king. For some reason, I feel like that this one would be the right one in this situation. But with them being here, I think all tribes equally is what I'll go for.
I'd treat all tribes equally.
Just like Lord Luis.
Alright, a bit much, ease off. You know there's a big difference between meritocracy and equality. You're not doing yourself any favors here, are you?
Let's drop the pretenses, shall we? We were all about impressing Luis, and we've done that. You're all about results, aren't you?
You'll answer the question from me too. Why do you want to serve Master Luis? No lies now.
I admire Master Luis's power. I don't like Forden or his church. I'm in love with June. Oh no. Let's see. And in honesty, it would be this one. But again, it's kind of hard to tell, so I'm gonna say I don't like Forden or his church. Because this one, it sounds like I am kissing up to him. I don't like Forden or his church.
I don't like Forden or his church.
Too right. They have no idea what justice is. Ah, but you had a sanctoress publicly executed so you could get ahead. Not in a position to moralize, are you?
We don't expect everyone to take our side. We're just here to right wrongs, that's all.
Huh. Whatever. You got some brass to you, I'll give you that much. Already got more accomplished than that Gladell ever did. You seem like the types to make yourselves useful.
Not many get Ardel's blessing. It's worth celebrating that. For now, you're in.
Someone like you should already know what it's like. The minority tribes face walls and barriers everywhere they look in society. Our greatest hope lies with Master Luis. We'll do whatever it takes to make him king, and starting today, so will you. Come on then. Master Luis is waiting for you inside his gauntlet runner, the Caradrius.
And no funny business up there, yeah? Nothing gets past the King's magic, and Lord Luis is one of the top candidates. We've captured some, what, 10 odd assassins now? Lord Luis uses them for magic experiments and, well, you know how that ends.
We finally have access to Luis's headquarters.
It's a valuable opportunity. Ideally, while most of our group is meeting with Luis, someone else can do a quick search inside.
High's May's best.
Wait, me?
There's no one more suitable. Anyone else, and he'd question their absence.
You're putting a solo infiltration on my tiny shoulders? But fine, I'll do it.
Once we're in the Skyrunner, we'll assess the situation, then deal with our own tasks.
Where?
Okay, it's already sunset. Time flies by so fast. Luis's Gauntlet Runner, the Charadius, is stationed in Warship Harbor. Let's take a ferry to get us over there. Okay, let's save this. See, rare to see sober folks around these parts, but I appreciate it. Where are you off to then? Warship Harbor. Charadius front. You want to go to Warship Harbor? That's no place to visit after a piss up, but alright, mind yourself and climb aboard.
Incredible.
Wow, it didn't hit me until we got right up close to it, but this runner is really huge. Boy, over here, keep your heads out of the clouds, will ya? You bumpkins can fawn over the Charadius all you want later. We won't be flying for a good while anyway. What with the soiree and all. Soiree, what's that? Hey, Boz, how about you don't go telling them anything they don't need to know? We aren't officially friends yet. Now follow me, I'll give you the grand tour. Oh, and friendly warning, be on your best behavior. You try anything clever, you're dead on the spot. Make a rude comment to Lord Luis, dead on the spot. Got it? Not shy about making threats. We'll stay on his good side, okay? Let's not test his patience then, eh? Lord Luis is in the reception room and you don't want to keep him waiting.
We're off.
Okay, so let's save here. Because we can't be too cautious. Okay, then we go up here. Okay, more is over there. It's still kind of bugging me how the camera decisions are made. And here we are, go on in. Don't wander off until you get used to it. This place can be a real maze.
Oh, yeah?
Wow, there's so many soldiers here. I suppose we should have expected as much from Luis's stronghold. I feel like we're always being watched. Like it or not, Nelda recruit is always going to stand out. But we're on the same side as all of them for now, so stand tall.
And yet...
You're not serious.
Let's see.
Got it.
The reception room is on the top floor. This lift will get you there.
What in the...
What was that? Happens to everyone. Is that some sort of magic-controlled blocking mechanism? It keeps the suspicious element out. You know, like the bastards pretending they're grunts when they're actually assassins. Seems like a secure system. I assume you need a key to get around. Yep, there's different keys for different areas. Only select few ranking soldiers have them. You want to walk freely around the runner? Then you're going to have to move up our ranks a bit first.
Evidently.
keys are only given to ranking soldiers, is it? Navigating this place may prove difficult without those in our possession. You will need to acquire them then. Boy, already trading treacherous whispers amongst yourselves? Quit the gossip and get on already.
Oh, nice.
It's much bigger than I thought. I almost forgot we're inside a gauntlet runner. Quit looking around so much. Now, what have we got here? Are we letting schoolboys in the ranks now? These kids are new recruits? So that's all it took, eh? A little show at the exhibition used to be you'd have to prove yourself before you could stand with the Count's men.
No.
They got Lord Louis's approval. If that's not enough for you, I'd keep it to yourself before someone knocks you off that pedestal.
What's the meaning of this?
What? These pissants against me? Please, I'm a bloody sergeant. We could sell this right here, right now. They'll be wiping you off the walls.
Don't even try it.
Oh, leave it out. Xanth, get your arse back to your post. That's an order.
Understood?
Just get this through your tiny heads. Power is everything around here. I give you 3 days at most till you run home. Tails between your legs.
Seriously.
You just gonna stand there or are you gonna move? Come on.
Here.
And this would be Lord Louis's hot quarters. Just a reception room, lass. He'd be daft to show a pack of strangers straight to his private quarters, wouldn't he?
Alright.
Lord Louis is waiting inside. Enter.
Hey.
Guess that's my cue. I'll try looking around for this formula. Be careful, lots of sharp eyes about. I'll try. You all stay safe too. See you soon, I hope.
A beautiful city, Brialhaven. But it is its identity I truly respect. Oceana's navy might well have won them the Annex War, if your Cronia hadn't chosen to forgo their honor and launch an opportunist attack in the wake of a storm. Even now, united in the kingdom, their pride in their power is what keeps this city alive. You wish to join my ranks. I need ask little else. Instead, I would hear what you wish to know most. Ask and I will answer. That is why I've bid you come.
Yeah, as if it's gonna be obvious. He's testing us. What should I ask first? What's your plan against Forden? Did you kill the royal family? So are you and Yuna? I'm gonna say, what's your plan against Forden?
How do you plan on winning against Forden?
I will kill him. Not that my victory rests on doing so. That man and Sanctism both are malignant tumors in this country's flesh and must be excised to save it.
Aren't candidates protected by the king's magic?
The king is not a god. There is always a way. It is clear no small conviction drives you. Perhaps keeping you close will prove useful. You, assembled company, I hereby permit you to enter my service.
We are much obliged.
This is a heart of magic silver. Cut your finger and let the blood fall. A proper rite of royalty. Shows how all our blood flows through the same heart.
Watch yourselves, though. If your own heart's not true to our cause, well, it's not just a drop you lose. Might take off a whole limb.
You hesitate.
It's just... do this?
Fear and anxiety. They always lead the people astray. But power and order trumps all. That is the crux of my rule.
It seems we have no choice.
Good. It would appear we've passed.
Ha! Look at you, like knock-kneed lambs. Just having a bit of fun with you, eh? You think I'd go to all that effort?
On August 13th, I intend to hold a soiree in this city. It seems a fine opportunity for you to make your debut in my retinue.
Very exclusive, see? Only for those good enough to be part of our campaign. You should feel honored.
As my gauntlet runner requires some maintenance, the party shall be held at the feast hall where I'm staying. In the meantime, do as you will.
I wonder how Gallica's search is going.
Only this area feels any different from the rest. I need a key to get in, though. It'd be nice if I could see what's going on in here, too.
Is that boy candidate here already?
Meeting with Count Luis as we speak, I think. Didn't think he'd end up on our side.
I expect we'll run into each other on the job, eh? That said, let's get back to our rounds.
Yikes! They're coming this way! I have to hide!
I'm glad I don't have to go through with her.
Is this the other side of that door? Never thought it'd lead to a place like this.
You should have stayed in the vent, though.
This area just screams suspicious with all the guards. The formula's gotta be somewhere around here. Is someone coming? Figures they'd show up now. Isn't that the songstress? What is she doing here?
Lady Juna, is something amiss?
I do recall saying I didn't need a personal guard today.
Yes, but this is Luis's personal quarters, and we thought in case you needed...
Well, I don't. You can do your guarding downstairs for today. Do you understand? And, well, I mean, do you really want to be guarding this door when Count Luis returns? Oh, the things you would hear. How awkward for us both.
Oh my.
You mean, idiot, don't make the lady repeat herself. Apologies, my lady. We'll make ourselves scarce.
Close one. Opportunities like this are so few and far between. I've got to get this back in place. Oh, wonderful. How were these arranged again? A magic spell? Is that the formula? Just my luck. I can carry out something that big, and now I know where it is.
Jolly good! You've got the man's eyes on you. Now that you've sworn fealty, we can get right down in the guts of his Skyrunner.
I worry for Gallica. Perhaps we ask too much of her. I hope she's all right.
Ah, it seems you worried for naught.
I'm back!
Phew. You're clearly bursting with good news, too.
I know, right? I found where the formula is! I'm pretty sure I saw the real thing. Even if it wasn't, I'd bet the real one's somewhere in that room.
Masterfully done. We could have asked no better an infiltrator.
That songstress Juno was there too. I'm pretty sure it was Luis's private quarters. So I have to wonder what she was doing there.
Whatever the case, I assume you could lead the way to the room?
Well, yes, but it might be a bit tricky. To get to Luis's quarters, we'd need to go through the crew quarters, then through the starboard corridor, or the port corridor. You need a key to get into each of the divisions.
Whoever's in charge at each guard post has one. Luis's private quarters have a special key, too. That one's held by the representative on the bridge.
In short, we'll need to pass through 3 blocks. The crew quarters, either the starboard or port corridor, and the bridge.
It looked like he's usually got his quarters under guard. So we'll want to pick a time of day when there'll be less people around.
If we need it less crowded, then how about the night of the soiree? Surely it would be a skeleton crew.
Apparently the soiree will be held at the luxury inn that caters exclusively to the upper class. The soldiers manning his runner are bound to have duties in town that
He
day.
would have us debut as his supporters on that night. How would we get away with not being present?
Maybe if we just excuse ourselves for a short time? We've got plenty of time to prepare. Securing an infiltration route, finding out when it will be less crowded. This is all work we can get done in advance. On the night of, Gallica and one other will slip out, swipe the formula, then return by the shortest route possible.
Have anyone in mind? My hearing makes stealth jobs simple work.
No. I think he'd be our best bet.
You would have the guest of honor himself absent?
This is Luis we're talking about. He's bound to notice any absence. If we've lost on that front already, we might as well send our strongest.
What do you think? It would be risky as a mere solo infiltration. Are you up to the task?
We'll have to make it work. You'll be in more danger than I. They'll say we'll have to make it.
You truly mean that?
Seriously. We're jumping from tightrope to tightrope here. We'll have to prep our infiltration strategy tomorrow. For now, let's get back to the inn and get some rest.
That reminds me.
By the way, do you remember the man we met in Luis's gauntlet runner? He seemed very proud of his strength. He was rather full of himself. Yes, Sergeant Xanth, was it? He got told to go back to his post, which makes me wonder he might be in charge of one of the runner's sectors. That would be unfortunate. I could tell his strength was formidable even to be near him. I doubt he would simply let us pass. In any case, we should probably rest for today. We can talk in more detail in the morning. Okay. Let us save. Okay. And then we'll go here. Yes, let's rest.
Good night.
Rest well.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Now then.
Now, starting today, we need to work on an infiltration route to Luis's private quarters. The issue is those in charge of each area, the ones holding the keys. Twould seem they make a formidable lineup. What shall we do? Maybe the simplest option is the best option. Get them alone, beat their key from them, and push forward. If we mean to attack, a short, decisive encounter is the order of the day. If they call for reinforcements, we may not fare so well.
Yes.
Luis's subordinates have attained their rank through martial prowess. If we would win their pride, negotiation may still be on the table. Let's see, this is a new challenge, and let's take precautions. These two seem to go along together, so let's take precautions. So we need to be as prepared as we can before we attempt this. Yeah. Right. A new situation calls for new tactics. We ought to build up our strength by hunting bounties and the like, or we may end up over our heads. Unlike previous operations, time is of the essence. When infiltrating, you will need to keep your battles short, defeating the officers within a certain number of turns. All the officers are quite strong, and each will require you to be tactical. Gather information about them in town, and utilize requests to strengthen your abilities to give yourself a fighting chance. Maybe we could dig up some dirt They're an informant. Who knows? They might have a weakness we can exploit. Well then, before we can secure our route to his quarters, it sounds like we have to do some digging before the day of the soiree.
Let's focus.
Let's see. Deadline 8/12. The infiltration route must be secured so Lewis's room can be accessed on the day of the soiree. If I still curse formula, the prince's curse can be lifted. A mission with a deadline has begun. Be cautious of storms and incitement of weather conditions may occur around Haven. Meet with your allies in Warship Harbor to infiltrate Lewis's Gauntlet Runner. The interior of Lewis's Gauntlet Runner is divided into 4 areas: the crew quarters, the starboard quarter, the port corridor, and the bridge. You'll need to obtain a special key from the person in charge of the bridge in the deepest part of the ship. Don't forget you need to gain access to Lewis's quarter by the day of the soiree. Lewis's Gauntlet Runner, huh? Let's see if we're allowed to deal with the quests since they're giving us free time.
Alright then.
Because I don't know how long things are gonna take normally. So, we want Grand Cathedral. Okay, no, going to teleport. Okay, let's do it. Okay, now that we know where the guy is, we're gonna do this. There you go.
And what do you want?
You again, when will you learn? Did his fish stink? Thanks to my overwhelming imagination, I was able to choose words that convinced the merchant I had no ill intent. Ah, how interesting. Yes, they did indeed stink. The Count would often buy fish himself, then show up to our meetings with them in hand. Amusing as it was, I worried about how I would keep them fresh. Ah, that stirs some memories. The Count of Halia, that I remember, was a magnanimous man. He was genuinely kind to all he met. Perhaps I should have learned from his example. Very well. Tell me your story and I will listen. I see, you must forgive my suspicion. You truly are a friend of his son, aren't you? I do apologize, but surely you understand my caution. Word of his lost inheritance has spread, and conmen have tried every trick in the book to claim it.
Appreciate your assistance.
I have indeed been entrusted with the inheritance. Always meant for the Count's son. Please give him that message. The rest are details I prefer to share with him directly. Please bring him with you when you're able. I found the person who's entrusted with the Count's inheritance. I should let Strohl know immediately. Okay, let's see. So, he was right here. Okay. Gonna at least turn in this quest. And then I'm gonna take another break. So, there he is.
Hey.
Hello. What's your plan for today? I get restless too, but I suppose it's important to let steam off him. The merchant that Strohl's father entrusted with his inheritance mentioned he wanted to talk to us. Perhaps I should go talk to him with Strohl. Any luck finding leads on the inheritance matter? I found the man hiding it for you.
Huh?
Have you? You must take me to him so we can talk. It's nice to finally meet you. Well, we have met, but you were just a babe in your mother's arms. Funny how much time you've come to resemble them both. Your father and I did charity work providing aid to the downtrodden. It was hardly lucrative, but I was quite taken by his charisma. He did charity work in the capital. I hardly knew his business here, to be honest. My connection to your father is ultimately what led him to entrust your family fortune to my guardianship. I'm pleased to finally put it in your rightful hands.
No!
I don't mean to pry, but have you decided what you will do with it?
That is...
I had thought to use it to rebuild our house, but to hear my father used his fortune to help people, I admit I'm having second thoughts. The refugees of Halia are struggling to survive without permanent housing, and knowing this, I will put these funds to the needs of my... I would put these funds to the needs of my house. It would take tremendous time and money to restore our territory. I wouldn't be able to tend to their hardships for many seasons to come. You are truly a Strohl, lad. Right down to your father's strength of character. If I might be so bold, allow me to present you with an option. It would work thusly. You purchase a parcel of land from your pick of the gentry. Many are in desperate need of coin and would easily part with estates they cannot sustain. You could then offer this land to your people to build upon. Would that not give them solace?
True.
I see the wisdom in it, but I can't imagine finding such an ideal expanse in such short order. If it's the negotiations you are concerned about, that is where I come in.
Right.
Perhaps you've heard the name of Lord Hydron, best known for his piety. He is well versed in such matter. Lord Hydron? Wasn't he the guy that brushed us off? Ari, did you say Lord Hydron? So you do know him well. I can appreciate why you'd recoil from him, but for such an occasion as this, he would be a potent ally. I dare say he would be precisely the savior you'd need to realize your ideals. My ideals, you say?
Yes.
I apologize, I'm just caught off guard by how quickly these tides change. I'll gladly accept your generous offer to aid me in negotiations. Hope is only a step behind a clear conscience.
No.
Words I'd hear my mother and father say often, they practically bludgeoned me with it. Wise words to live by. They instilled you with wise words. Only now do I see that. Back then I couldn't appreciate it. If I can procure new land, all those people could return to some semblance of the lives they were forced to abandon. They could go back to a time of peace before the human attacked. And you have no small role to play here. You know that, don't you? If treachery claims the throne, this whole country will fall to ruin, and I'll have no hope of saving the people of Halia, let alone realizing my ideals.
Hey.
In other words, the future of many depends on our fight. Our hope lies with you, Captain. I can sense Strohl's deep-seated trust and newfound resolve. Ooh, nice.
Whatever burdens you carry, I'll carry them too.
Scion's Merit. It increases skill inheritance slot for the warrior lineage to 3. Nice. More skills can now be inherited by the warrior lineage in academia due to the effects of Scion's Merit.
Thank you.
I owe you my thanks for discovering the man safeguarding the inheritance. It was surely no easy feat to find him.
You're a lifesaver.
Okay, nice. Increased tolerance. That's good. So by tracking down the merchant who knew Strohl's father, I helped him get one step closer to his goal. He was grateful for my help.
Alright.
Alright. So tolerance went up.
That reminds me.
If you don't mind my asking, did you hear anything else about my father in the search? Let's see. Kind of hard to say. Like, he knows this much already. But I'm having a tough time, so... Let's say he had a strong sense of justice. I'm told he had a strong sense of justice. Yes, that does sound like him. Were my father in the same position I am now, I wonder what he would do. Let's see. I returned to the others with Strohl, who was still deep in thought. Okay. Dangers of nighttime infiltration. There are more people in Lewis's Gauntlet Runner at night, so you'll need to sneak in during the day. Make sure to secure an infiltration route to Lewis's room before the day of the soiree. Back to Brawlhaven Tavern. I hear a voice. I'd like to know more about him. Alonzo comes to mind, and maybe I should talk with him. Alright. I'm gonna save here and take a break, and then from there I'll see how things are time-wise, so be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I hope that didn't take long. Gonna check on stream here. Looks like it's good still. Alright, and time-wise, I'm still a little good too. So, let's take some things out. You received an invite to the Triadus Night's work, alright. Thing you want to know, just ask. Bye. Okay. So we do this one. Yes.
Fancy a bit of info?
There's a man named Sergeant Xanath among Lewis's subordinates. He's the officer in charge of the Triadus, his crew quarters. Naturally, he's a tough customer. Xanath, oh, that important-looking guy we saw at the Triadus the other day? What, an acquaintance of yours? Then you might know this already, but he's a large man wearing armor who holds strength as justice as his creed. I hear he was once a competitor at the Coliseum too. He's strong, of course, but not invulnerable. Rumor is he's weak against burn and poison. Since he's wearing all that armor, it's hard for him to just take it off and deal with those. I'm sure paralysis and stun will work well too. But Lewis values power, and so while the old battle axe might have some weakness, as if Lewis trusts him, you can bet he's strong as blazes. I see, we'll have to find ways to inflict status elements, of course, and it'll certainly be a dangerous fight if we don't do a bit of training first. No such thing as being too prepared, so let's head there when we're sure we're ready. I received a scrap of paper inscribed with the information I just heard. I'll put it away so I can check it later. Alright. So we'll do each of these.
Fancy a bit of info?
That old fart, Maintenance Chief Sebia. He's in charge of the starboard corridor. Can't take a joke, or so I've never gotten along with him. He's strong as you'd expect considering the authority he's been given. His magic that repels attacks is especially impressive. As you can guess, if you try to physically attack him, it'll bounce right back at you. The more you put into it, the more you'll end up hurting. That said, his barrier doesn't repel magic, but magic isn't especially effective either, from what I hear. To win, you'll need to find a way to perform physical attacks without having them bounce back at you. Fret not that I expect you'll end up fighting him. That guy sounds like a massive pain in the... If we don't improve, our skills will be done for. And since he uses magic that repels physical attacks, we'll want to find some way to dispel that too. I received a scrap of paper inscribed with the information I just heard. I'll put it away so I can check it later. Okay. So we'll just definitely get all these and then see where things are at. Support Quartermaster.
Fancy a bit of info?
Master Sergeant Glecom is in charge of the port corridor. Quite frankly, he's an absolute loon. Don't tell him I said that, though I value my life. He's an intense person in a lot of ways, but the way he fights in particular is, as I said, quite mad. He starts yelling like a madman and swings his axe all around him. You'll want to watch out for it, or it'll daze you. If I recall correctly, the magic shop sells equipment that protects against that. Might be worth checking out. All the blood rushes to his head, so he falls for being provoked really easily, though. Oh, if you bring someone to act as a decoy along, I think you could beat him without much hassle. Ideally, you won't have to fight him, but if you do, keep that in mind.
Guess so.
We need a decoy then, you know? I think there's a skill that would be useful. But if we aren't strong enough, our decoy could fall, and our strategy would be ruined. Let's ensure we improve our combat skills before fighting him. I received a scrap of paper inscribed with the information I just heard. I'll put it away so I can check it later. Let's see. Bridge is Yuna.
Fancy a bit of info?
The Charitas helmsman Cabio is stationed on the bridge. He's a fervent supporter of Lady Yuna. I have to say, I know how he feels. She acts so sweet and has such a lovely voice. I'm swooning here. I'd almost think she was a goddess. We're not paying for that. What's his fighting style? You planning to spar with him? Well, he's the only one Lewis granted the privilege of being the helmsman amongst all his minions, so you can bet he's a strong one. Having said that, he's weak to electric. I hear he had traumatic experience in a storm once. And rumor has it, when the weather gets rough, he even turns the steering over to his second in command. Pretty solid evidence, isn't it? Guess we'd better prepare some electric magic then. But he's one of Lewis's hand-picked officers, so it might be a tough fight no matter what. If time permits, we should train a bit before fighting him. Slow and steady wins the race after all, no point in hurrying. I received a scrap of paper inscribed with the information I just heard. I'll put it away so I can check it later. Okay. And then security guard.
Fancy a bit of info?
Salva, you say? He's the Charidius' grand guard chief. Got some business with him? He's not someone you'll have an opportunity to meet with often. His job's to patrol the Charidius and on the lookout for intruders. The chief of security is no pushover. He's a powerful opponent who's earned Lewis's trust with his strength. They say he's got an almighty igniter that can damage any foe. Won't be easy to guard against that.
Really nice.
I hear he's weak to projectiles and lance. Though, maybe his reaction time's slow, what with wearing that big helmet and all. And that's about it. Remember that on the off chance you find yourself against him.
I guess so.
I doubt he's powerful if he's in charge of Lewis's guards. If we don't come at him with all we've got, we're in trouble. We need to be confident we're ready to fight. Oh, and he uses all my magic, right? Sounds like it'll be trouble, but maybe we can retaliate with some of our own. I received a scrap of paper inscribed with the information I just heard. I'll put it away so I can check it later. Okay. Ingredients of Oceana. Okay, we don't...
Cheers.
There are a lot of shops in Brilhaven dealing in rare ingredients. There are even stands selling meat harvested from monsters and such. Other than that, there's the butcher who sells marbled bluefin tuna and briny salt from the water shop. But the only specialty good that you can get from the village nearby is really mellow milk. What's rare depends on the person, I suppose. You cook, do you? I respect that there's more to you than strength. That reminds me, the younger of the Magnus brothers, his cooking I've said too much, forget it. I received a scrap of paper inscribed with the information I just heard. I'll put it away so I can check it later. And the final thing.
Cheers.
Do you know a village called Inudo, a little ways up north of here? It might look abandoned at first glance, but there's still shopping to do there. Then again, they sell mostly rubbish like rusty weapons and armor. Maybe if you polish them up, you'd find some rare treasures. They also sell Hell's Boiling Bath Bomb, which is a bath salt, mellow milk, as well as toothbrushes, their specialty. That's about all I can think of. Stop by if you're heading that direction. I received a scrap of paper inscribed with the information I just heard. I'll put it away so I can check later. Alright.
Hey, listen.
So that's everything of the informant. So I'm gonna save, and I've still got a bit of time, but not so much, so I'm just gonna do a follower in here, and possibly call it there. So we'll do Alonzo. Just to get him. I'd like to know more about him. Alonzo comes to mind. Maybe I should talk with him. We should talk. Okay. Where is he? Okay, there he is.
Greetings.
Ah, well met. What are you up to? I'd like to hear about your journey so far, if you don't mind. In telling it, you have certain information I'd very much like to know. Let's see, sure I can do that. With an outpouring of wisdom, I briefly outlined my journey so far for Alonso. Ah, how very intriguing. I'm very keen to know more of these experiences. If you'd indulge me, have you got some free time right now? No problem.
Yes.
Oh, you are marvelous. Thank you. Alright, follow me. I know of a great spot. Alonso asked me to tell him about some of the things that happened on my journey.
I see.
I see. Very intriguing. So an external force protects the candidates. For outsiders like myself, it's rather difficult to get a hold of accurate information pertaining to the royal magic and the tournament for the throne. Information's quite the weapon, you know. All the more reason meeting you has been such a boon.
Understand?
In fact, if you really wanted to take down the other candidates, the most effective method would be investigating their families and homes for info you can use. Quite effective against blackguards who hide their misdeeds naturally, but outstandingly so against good, upstanding family folk. To threaten them? I couldn't do that. See, I'm gonna say to threaten them. You don't mean to threaten them, do you? Haha, I know it's not in your nature, but still, not every weapon has a pointed end. A villain will always strike where it hurts most. Like snakes, and those I associate with are usually the most venomous kind. Speak of the devil, here comes one such associate now.
Oi!
How's the client situation looking? We're 20 at present, no delays securing their contracts. Arrangements have been made should any default on payments. Ah, so you're not all talk. You know, my lord may have taken a shine to you, but let me make something clear. One false move and I promise I will flay you alive myself. Understand, Cuculus?
Ridiculous.
He's an underling of the landowner I'm working with. He's exceedingly cautious, as you might expect, and for some reason he still doesn't trust me. Can't blame him, really. Said landowner is my true target. He's a foul one. He's been trying to take advantage of the struggle for the throne to net a huge fortune. Ambitious sorts all over the country are using the tournament to rise up in the world, and this landowner's their lender, turning tidy profits. I am his middleman. And of course, the landowner only lends because he knows he'll collect. So when he realizes he can't, why, that's an awful lot of money to disappear into the void. You mean... I know, what do you mean? And that's your aim, then?
What?
And that's your plan all along, isn't it?
Now then.
Huh. I'll spare you the details, but the man's money will end up in my coffers eventually. It's a curious thing, people are never more vulnerable to tricks than when they think they're playing one themselves. When all's said and done, it'll be his loss and my gain, and I do mean gain, enough to buy a small village, really. Why do such a thing? Interesting plan there. What if you mess up? I'm gonna say, why do such a thing? Why do such a thing, though? Why indeed? Perhaps I can trust you with that.
Oi!
Oi, Alonso.
Yes.
Don't worry, he has my confidence.
Listen.
That flunky you talked to earlier, he's snooping around the village. What?
Hey!
I gave him the slip before he saw me, but this is bad, Alonso. If they find out how you're connected to the village, then...
No.
My hometown or not, there's no way they'll catch on to what I'm up to now. He'll turn up nothing, and that'll be the end of it. We need to relax. All the same, you should pack your things in case things go south. I'll bring you the money to stash soon. That lackey of his I hadn't expected him to move so quickly, even went as far as digging up my roots. Is everything alright? What do you mean? Are you going to be okay?
You...
If push comes to shove, I may end up needing your help. Your muscle, that is. I'm trying to buy my hometown with the money I'm bilking from the landowner. He's the one who's bleeding my village dry to begin with. I've got to make this piece of my deception succeed at all costs. It would save the whole poverty-stricken village. Hey. When are you free? How about you come check on the village with me? I've got a strange nagging feeling about all this. Okay.
Leave it to me.
Sure, I'll go.
Thank you, truly.
Yes, of course, thank you. I owe you one. I can feel Alonso's genuine gratitude and deep trust towards me. Oh, nice. New ability, Faker Enlightenment. Reduces the mag cost of starting the Faker lineage. My hometown's a small village. It's nearby, in fact. If it were up to me, we'd head there straight away. Alas, I know you had a schedule of your own. Even so, I implore you, please do not delay for long. I'll be waiting.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Luis's.
Let's see. We're cutting it kind of close on time here, so the moment I get control, I'm gonna save and call it a day. But that'll be who knows how long. The day of the soiree is approaching. We need to secure our infiltration route to Lewis's quarters before then. We must reclaim the formula without raising suspicion. Then at long last we'll finally have the means to break the prince's curse.
Let's make it happen.
The prince's fate is in our hands. This plan is risky, but we have to see it through. 90 days until Lewis's soiree. Let us proceed with the utmost caution.
It's really coming down.
Alright. So I'm gonna...
What now?
Save and call it here, guys. I thank you all for coming. If you liked this, you know what to do. And as for when I'll be streaming again, I want to say tomorrow, but check my socials on that. Let me check for someone to raid. Okay, let's see, we've got someone that was here earlier. We're gonna do some other stuff. So let's just check for someone that's playing this game, since that might catch you guys, be better for you guys, in case you wanted more. Let's see. We are going to be rating an Edward. They are also playing this, and they might be behind me. It's kind of hard to tell. But they're doing a social link right now. And I don't know anything about them, but I hope you guys enjoy them. And as always, give them my regards and tell them I'll try to be there as soon as I can. With that, I thank you all again for coming. Bye!